In this second video we're going to cover error messages, which are quite useful to understand, and then we've got some more syntax which includes deleting rows from a table and updating. SQL is a program language which can be divided into two sections. DCL, data control language, allows you to manage the database, creating tables, creating users, altering tables and dropping tables. Drop table basically means delete the whole table. And then DML is what we've already got into. We've already used select statements to view rows, insert statements to insert new rows, and this video we're looking at these two. Update allows you to edit data and delete specific rows as long as you've got a where clause which explains which rows you want to delete. And we said last video that databases sit behind the web page of a data-driven website. On this example, if you type in data into these text boxes and hit the submit button, we're expecting that to put the data into the database. If you look at the source code example, there's Visual Basic inside the HTML which connects the website to the database, and there's pure SQL here. There's an insert statement to insert that data into the correct table, insert into the table name, all these column values, and there's the values keyword, and that's the actual variables that are being inserted which are set up here. So let's get started. I'm going to log in with my password Fred, and I'm going to do use database 1, and I'm going to do show tables, and that shows all the tables in the database. We've got two. Last video we set up fruit bowl and we set up runners. I'm going to do describe runners. The describe keywords allows you to see the data structure of each table. So this shows all the fields, all the columns in the table runners, and it shows that runner ID is an integer data type which doesn't allow null values because it's a primary key, and it's set to auto increment. If you use the default keyword on an insert statement, it'll add the next number in the sequence automatically. Full name is varchar, text data allowing 20 characters, and does allow null values, and nationality is varchar 15, which allows nulls. Nulls basically are missing or blank data in a particular column, and you can set a database to allow missing values or not allow missing values. For example, surname is quite a good one to say it shouldn't be null in a customer database because you want to know the name of the customer. And there's all my runners. If I try an insert statement, insert into runners values, open brackets, if I choose a number we've already used, and then it's coming up with an error message which is quite helpful. It says you can't insert into that table a runner with value of 11 because 11's already being used for Mo Farah, and this is proof that the primary key is working and doesn't allow duplicate values in the table. If you try creating a runners table and there already exists a runners table, then you're going to get a message saying the runners table already exists. Another useful error to be aware of is the varchar 15 when you've got a limited amount of characters. So if you try and break that rule, we're going to try and insert into the runners table Jungxia Wang, who's won records for distance running in China. If we put People's Republic of China, that's more than 15 characters. When we press enter, it says data too long for column, and it's even told you which column's the problem. So that's because, if you remember, nationality is varchar 15. So the error messages are really quite useful to understand and see what's going on there. So now we're going to look at the difference between drop table and delete from. Drop table deletes a whole table from the database, so you can't get it back again, it's gone. Delete from allows you to delete rows from a table, but unless you use a where clause, you'll be deleting all the rows. So where specifies which rows get deleted, and that's really important. So what we're going to do is get rid of the fruit bowl table, so drop table fruit bowl, and that's gone. So if we do show tables now, we've only got one table in the database, which is the runners table. If we look at the runners table, select star from runners, those are all the runners. If we want to delete specific runners, the best way to do it is to use the primary key field. So you've got to really think what you're doing when you start deleting rows, otherwise you delete work you want to keep. The syntax for a delete statement: delete from table name, where, and then we're going to do runner ID equals 18 or runner ID equals 19, and it says 2 rows have been affected. In other words, 2 rows have been deleted. If we run the select statement again, we've got rid of those 2 runners. If you just did delete from runners, it'll delete all the rows from the whole of the table, and that's not good if you've spent ages getting 25 rows typed in. So be careful using the delete keyword. Only use the delete keyword if you're really sure what you're doing and you're using a where clause to specify which rows get deleted, and try and use the primary key column to specify. If you say delete from runners where surname equals Smith, there might be 17 Smiths in your database and you don't know which Mr. Smiths get deleted or Mrs. Smiths, and you could be in big trouble. So using the primary key values is the best way of going. So we're going to go on to finish the video by talking about updating rows in the database using the update statement. So here I've added Jessica Ennis, and I'm also going to add this guy Tarek, who changed from Kenya to Bahrain. So let's select all the runners, and you can see they're in there. Now I've put Jessica Ennis in because she got married and changed her surname, so we're going to update her name. So we run an update statement, update table name, set, and we're going to set column equals value where column equals value. Full name equals Jessica Ennis Hill, where I'm going to use the primary key for this, runner ID, her number is 20. And again, this is a good use of primary key being used in the where field. And it says it's done it, so let's find the select statement and run that. And it's changed her surname. It used to be Jessica Ennis, now it's Jessica Ennis Hill. If we do the same thing with Tarek, we're going to change his nationality. Wikipedia says he went to Bahrain from Kenya, and let's do an update statement on him. Update table name, set column equals value where column equals value. So set nationality equals, he's changing to Bahrain, where his runner ID equals 21, and that's worked as well. Select star from runners to select everything, and now we've changed his nationality. It used to be Kenya and it's now Bahrain. So this is a summary of the syntax we've been using. Delete from table name where column equals value. Ideally you should be using column ID equals value, and update table name, set column equals value where column equals value. Again, if you use the primary key of the column, it's going to be more accurate in terms of making sure which rows of the database get edited and changed. Update is used to change existing values, and delete is used to delete rows.